What's up, everybody? Today is the big day. Finally getting down on tune for the LS E36. It's a little ugly outside today. It's pretty rainy and everything. Hopefully it doesn't stay too much longer, but it don't matter. I'm excited. I'm happy, ready to get it tuned, ready to see how much power she's gonna make. And yeah, so running a little behind, just by a couple minutes, nothing too crazy. So I'm gonna just go ahead, jump in the car, get some gas on the way there, and really I'll pick this back up once we get there. Alright, we made it out here. Evolve tuning. It looked like he got a G35 on the dyno though. My bro Keenan pulled up. What's good, bro? But, I said all 252 horsepower. That what that was? Yeah. Alright, so I figured I'll give y'all an update. We're only 2 pulls in now. We didn't even make it to red line because it's running real rich, which I knew it was running rich. I just didn't know it was running this rich. So the first pull it made 252 and 297 foot-pounds of torque. And then the second pull it made 301 horsepower and 317 foot-pounds of torque. And I think he only got it up to like 5 grand. He's just cleaning up the fuel trim down low so that, you know, he could take it up higher. So I'll come back with the next pull. 316 and 325.
didn't feel smooth.
Right.
Like it felt like a breakup, and I was like, okay, was it a misfire? Like, because the fueling was on.
Right.
I mean, up to that point, we were. I mean, your target on these is like 12.4, 12.7. Right. Is about where you want to be.
Okay.
I tend to tune a little bit on the richer side on the dyno because it usually leans out on the street.
Okay.
Usually it's about a point or two lean because like the load conditions change on the road.
Right.
So, yeah, but I mean, dude, we were dead nuts on fueling up to that point.
Right.
I mean, that's 12.5. I mean, we were damn spot on. I mean, that's about as good as you're gonna get right there.
Cool.
But then as soon as we hit that 52, you can see where it just, it's not, it's like the dyno, you see it in the graph there, and you see the fueling here on my sniffer, it's going. And that's, I bet you that 4.5 right there is where it hit 90 something duty cycle on that, and it was just like, I don't know what the hell is going on. I guess another thing we could do is maybe monitor the fuel pressure somehow.
Yeah, see.
Just watch it and see if it's dropping down.
Right.
I mean, if it's dropping fuel pressure, then we know it's probably a pump related.
Pump related, right. Or a wiring.
I mean, if you want to do one more pull, we can.
Yeah, let's do that.
Just
just watch it and see.
Yeah, see
we'll
if it's
it drops off.
At least that way we can eliminate something off the equation.
Okay. Might just be those injectors. If this that.
If it maintains the pressure.
Possibly.
But I mean, it could be a couple things.
Couple things.
Point.
Okay.
I'm not saying one way or the other.
Right.
We just got to do
our due diligence. Yeah. Stayed at 60. Yeah.
So I mean, we're good on pressure then. So I would say it's. I mean, the pump. If it's a voltage at the pump, you'll see
the
it fade. Yeah, you'll see the pressure. What happens is the fuel pressure will drop.
Okay.
And the ECU will try to compensate by getting duty cycle to the injector because it's still trying to target a certain.
Okay.
So it's chasing a target. So your VE table is gonna it's just gonna. Basically, your pressure drops, and like say if you have like a larger injector and you're normally running like 60, if you have low pressure, it'll start doing like 90% duty cycle.
Okay.
Because it's trying to compensate for that pressure. Low pressure.
Right.
Yeah, exactly. Climbing, and then it drops.
Starts fluctuating. Right.
Starts doing that weird. And then it jumps
80.
straight up.
Alright, so tune-in session is over with. It didn't go as planned. We didn't get to finish because was having some issues with the injectors. It was like the duty cycle was just like jumping up and down all over the place, but I just wanted to let y'all know that that's what happened. But I'm gonna fill y'all in more when I get to the house. Alright, so made it home. The dyno, I wouldn't say it was a failure. It wasn't a failure because the car's still running. But it didn't go as planned because the injectors was having issues with the injectors. Didn't know that these ones was some aftermarket, kind of like knockoff ones. I didn't realize that when I bought it. But the tuner, he actually has an injector company. Yeah, like I was saying, he actually has an injector company, and he's a retailer for a lot of good injectors. And when we were sitting there talking about the car before we actually put it on the dyno, asking me what all I've done to the engine, intake manifold, cam. So I gave him the full rundown, and then I told him about the injectors. He asked me what brand they were. I told him, and as soon as I told him, he was like, ah. He was like, and then he broke it down. He was like, I have a lot of problems with the Chinese knockoffs and the aftermarket replacements if it's not like an OEM replacement or like a Bosch or like D-Schwerks or something like that. He said that you'll basically command the injector to do something, and the injector just has a mind of its own. It kind of does what it wants to. It's not listening to the commands that the tuner is giving it through the computer, and that's exactly what happened. He was, cleaning up the fuel table and everything because it was running really, really rich. He cleaned up the fuel table all the way up to 5,000 RPM, well, really like 52, and up to there. And actually, let me rewind a little bit. The car made like 340 horsepower, and I think it was like 370 something foot-pounds of torque, and it only made that at fucking 5,200 RPM, which is crazy. So I'm like, and I'm spinning it up to 68 because the cam that I have, the operating range is to 68, and I have the upgraded valve train and everything. So he told me that actually I could probably spin it up to 7, but if I take it to 7 and it's not making any more power after 68, it's kind of no point. I'm just putting extra stress on the engine for no reason. But he told me that. Yep. So back to what I was saying. We cleaned it up all the way up to 5,200 RPM, and then it started breaking up. Started having issues and stuff. He tried to clean it up some more. It couldn't get it. Did about 3 pulls and it just kept breaking up. And then on the last pull, he got it up to 5,800 RPM, and then it broke up real bad. That's when he got out, with the computer, called me and my pops over there, and he was showing us and explaining to us what the issue was. He recommended either some LS3 injectors or LSA injectors, but those were EV6, I believe, and I have an EV1 harness, and I don't really like the idea of running a piggyback from my harness to the injector. That's just, to me, that's another failure point. I don't want to have to do that, and it's gonna make the engine bay look a little messier because it's more wires. So that's where we at right now. We was unable to get it finished, but it's something to work on, and I'm confident that the car can make, probably I'd say about 420 to 450 maybe, because he didn't even throw any timing at it or anything like that. It was just straight fueling. That's all he did. He was just cleaning up the fuel table, and then even then he didn't even finish cleaning up the fuel table because he couldn't run the top 1,600 RPM. So once he gets that cleaned up, we can really redline it all the way out, rev it out to the max, and then he'll start playing with the ignition timing. I'm confident that this will make 420 to 450. I'm confident, even though it's a 5.3. I feel like it can do it. Not sure until it happens, but that's where we at with it right now. So right now is the teething stage. I still got to get the rebuild kit for the trans. I was just gonna get the synchro for first and second, but then when I looked at the prices for the whole rebuild kits, I still have to shop around some more. It does cost more, yeah, of course. Obviously, it's more parts, but I might as well get the full rebuild kit and do everything one time while I'm in there, because the other stuff might be wearing out too. So it just makes sense while I'm in there, do it all at once, make sure everything's fresh, and yeah, so that's where we at with it right now. So injectors and transmission rebuild kit, but honestly right now my main focus is the injectors because I want to finish getting it tuned. With the synchro messing up, he didn't even really put it in second gear on the dyno, so I was like, that'll work. So that's the next thing. I'm about to actually go inside right now, jump on the computer and see what I can find. Hopefully I can get something ASAP, and he told me whenever I get him, just call him, set up another appointment, and then we'll go out there, finish up the tune, and then finally see what she's gonna make. So like I said, it wasn't a failure, but dyno is a diagnostic tool at the end of the day. It does tell you how much power your car makes and tuning in and stuff, but it's still a diagnostic tool, and I wouldn't have known that was an issue because it was breaking up in high RPMs before, but I always thought it was just probably running rich, and it was just like flooding it, and I was like, all right, so once I get tuned, I'm be able to really drive it how I want to. But now that I know that was the cause of it, it's probably just been the injectors from the very first startup, and I first tried to take it to Redline. So it is what it is. It's project cars. That's how it goes. I'm not mad. Just got to keep going. So I appreciate y'all watching. I'm going to just end the video here. Thanks for watching. Thanks for subscribing. I'll see y'all next time.